repression in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett
there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship?
Yeah, my name is Jacinti Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
You could probably, on the maritime area, give Venezuela a channel out to the sea.
Good evening, everyone. A pleasant good evening, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Over to You, a program for the people, by the people. Guys, notice a little adjustment with the time. It's just for this weekend. It's not permanent. We're doing 6 p.m., but it's not permanent. Just for this weekend, okay? As your host, have another engagement yet after the program tonight. But of course, brothers and sisters, you know that I have an obligation to be here every Saturday evening. Like good evening to everyone across Guyana, across America. Okay, pleasant good evening, everyone. Can you guys go ahead and do your normal administrative task of sharing the link and liking your program? Again, over to you, a program for the people, by the people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We do have a few things to discuss. This is going to be a very, very fast hour, but hey, we're going to get in our work this evening, okay? You guys know that is on all. We know that we have work, so it's all about getting the job done. Here quickly, before we get business, Shondell Griffith, good evening. Rita Clark, a pleasant good evening. Yvonne Castillo, Beverly Bovell, good evening to you. Sandra Sargent, good evening. Desiree Smart Felix, by the way of New Amsterdam, a pleasant good evening to you. Sandra Hanover, you. Sharma E. Grant Melville, good. Mavis Davis Wells, welcome. Jin Bim, good evening, good evening. Audrey Brown, I see you. Beatrice Selby, Patricia Asano, the Honorable Keith Beresford, good to see you, sir. There's Deborah Clark, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Miss Cheryl Pancham, good evening. Vashti Megnot, my sister, pleasant good evening to you. Miss Rhonda Lane, good evening to you, Miss Rhonda Lane. Karen Clark, good evening. Michelle Joseph, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the program. Robin Kendall, welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Please share the link, like the program. All right. What's our top priority? What's at the top of our agenda? Okay. we are still seeking justice for our daughter, right? Our 11-year-old daughter, right? The fight continues. I noticed that we had a change in attorneys for the family, and Dr. Dexter Todd is now at the helm as the family's attorney. All right, we got to keep this going. We have to keep this going. At the same time, I want to thank young Darren Wade for the job that he did. You know, in this business, you don't know what people are faced with. Okay, you don't know what people are faced with, and we are going to just move on. We have a new attorney, and we have to keep things moving. I love the posture of Adriana Young's family. Okay, as you guys would have heard, not so much of not a relevant attorney, but you guys would have heard one James Bond would have come out and said that, you know, compensation equals to justice. Well, this family is showing James Bond that compensation does not equal to justice. They want justice for their child. And I'm going to say this, to the extent compensation is received by this family, compensation could never be for the life of Adriana Young. The compensation has to be from the state that would have failed the family and would have failed Adriana Young. That's where the compensation comes in. Okay, one life could never be compensated for. Let's get that clear. Okay, let me make that as clear as possible. All right, there is nothing such as life. So we are calling for justice. Justice is what we want. Nobody has time with compensation. The family has to be compensated. But right now, we want justice. Right? We know that the day before and the morning of the discovery of our body, we saw nobody in the pool. There was nobody present in the pool. All right? This is not Nancy stories. This is serious. The Guyanese people want justice. We want to know where Adriana Young's body was. We want to know what happened. We want full details. We want full transparency. And when we mean we want full transparency, we don't want anybody hired by the PPPC from the Canadian Mountain Police. No one-man gang to come down and make any decisions. And the Guyanese people are going to accept it. No, they're not going to accept that. And to be honest with you, right now on the ground, the Guyanese people don't know who to trust. Because nobody seems to be authentic these days. Look at this gross attempt to cover up what is indeed a murder. And then the installed president was quick to run to the pulpit, to run to the podium. She died by drowning. You think the Guyanese people are going to accept that and walk away with it? You guys tend to forget the body of atrocities that we can call out. The body of unsolved murders that we can call out. Anil Nandalal, Irfan Ali, Barajagdio, the DPP, the Guyana Police Force. Can you guys give us an update on Isaiah and Joel Henry? Is there an update? Look, I'm going to tell you guys this. With Adriana Young, that's not happening. We're not accepting that anymore. All right? You guys are quick to charge normal born and bred Guyanese hard-working people on the ground inciting terrorism. Are you guys crazy? You guys are charging people because they are saying no justice, no peace. You act like if it's today the Guyanese people have not gotten justice. The people have a right, it's their innate right to say no justice, no peace. Can we define what no peace means? That is what is scaring you guys. Because you guys are believing that no peace means that there's going to be further looting and burning. And that there's a chance that the people will burn you guys' houses down. That is what is scaring you guys. And nobody, look, the only way that you guys in government should be scared is if you know that you're wronging the people. No justice, no peace can mean peaceful protest. They're going to continue to antagonize you guys peacefully for the world to see. It doesn't have to mean violence. But you know what? The PPPC knows. The PPPC knows of the violence that they've inflicted on the Guyanese people. So what they are thinking now is that the tables are turning. So now that the tables are turning, they are going into the law books now. They're going into the Constitution now to find, cyber crimes, and pull it out and charge Guyanese people. That's what you guys, you notice, you guys only know to go to the Constitution and you guys only know to go to the laws when it favors you. Anything else? Forget Constitution. We don't have one. I'm going to call on this installed regime this evening to release those people that you guys are charging with cyber terrorism crimes immediately. You really don't have any grounds, okay, to have those people in custody. You may ask why. So if these people can be in custody, brothers and sisters, you all help me. I want you guys to help me this evening. If these people can be in custody, why isn't young Imran in custody? He said you want to shoot up all them black man, you want to poison out all them black man this, black man that. The ERC did nothing. The government of Guyana did nothing. Nobody did anything. Imran was just allowed to say what he had to say and get whatever he had to get off of his chest, which is, hey, I'm not surprised at what Imran said. That is what Imran was taught. Right? Imran looked like a young youth that would have attended a few of the Barra Jagdio bottom house meetings. That's how he speaks. And you ERC, you guys are disingenuous. Okay? You guys, look, that's the reason why I say that the ERC is garbage, and I'm going to say it again tonight. The ERC is utter garbage. And that is supposed to be a government agency. That's not a government agency. That's a PPPC agency. Players there to persecute Guyanese, okay, that are voices of dissent against what the PPP wants to do. That's the purpose of the ERC. And what? It's a set of birds of feather flocking together. When you talk about governmental agencies, the ERC is supposed to be an independent body, you know. It's not. And it's not the ERC is not the only agency that's that way. an arm of the PPPC. So is the Guyana Police Force. So is the Guyana Elections Commission. So when people want to come into Guyana, these foreign dignitaries, you know, Secretary of State, ambassadors, and these people want to come in and talk about democracy in Guyana, please, don't embarrass yourself. And don't lie to the Guyanese people. Where do you see Guyana being a democracy? Show me the traces of democracy in Guyana. Show me where the lead party in government is engaging the opposition. Show me. Look, man, you know, guys, I was just browsing through something, and I spoke with Rhonda Lane today, and I was browsing through something. She was talking to me. And she brought up something to me. She said, Wayne, look in our passport and see what you see. Our passport is a national document. We have a national motto. One people, one nation, one destiny. That's national. That's not party affiliated. How the heck did we get to one Guyana? How did we get there? How is one Guyana stamped in the Guyanese passport? Who made that decision? Was that decision a bilateral decision? You know something? I'm going to say this. I'm going to bring it up again. I saw a whole mass of people protesting to protect sports cars. And your democracy is being stripped right in front of your eyes. And you're not fighting for it. You're not fighting for it. The opposition. I know sometimes people, bumps are going to raise when I call out the opposition name. What have you guys done about one Guyana being stamped in our passports? Have you guys done anything at all? Can somebody reach out to me? I'm not going to go further into it. I'll address it again next Saturday because I'm going to give you guys a whole week to have somebody reach out to me. If nobody reaches out to me, then I'll address it on Saturday. I'm going to allow you guys the latitude of 1 week for somebody to reach out to me and give an explanation as to why this wasn't addressed or what was done to mitigate such actions. Because look, the PPP can only be a runaway train if they are allowed to be a runaway train. I believe over the last few weeks, the Guyanese people would have stood up. They would have belled the cat. And they're saying that enough is enough. And they're saying to the PPP, your time is up. But at the same time, we need a strong, robust opposition that is ready to take over this country and get Guyana and Guyanese off to a running start. We need a running start. I noticed that they were, I guess it's a day of prayer or a few days of prayer where a lot of religious leaders, pastors, I'm thinking it's all different religions would have come together for a time of prayer. I'm going to say this. Why now? Why now? I know we got the saying that it is better late than never. But I want to ask the question, why now? Have you guys, the religious organizations across Guyana, is it that you guys have finally seen enough? Is it? Because if it is that it's only now that you guys have seen enough, then for 4+ years, you would have allowed Guyanese to be slaughtered. For 4+ years. Okay? And when I say slaughtered, I don't mean those who would have lost their life in the 4+ years only. Guyanese have been slaughtered economically. They have been slaughtered from a financial perspective, from a financial position. A new government in Guyana has a lot of making up to do to its people. And don't let the people go to the polls and elect a new government just to be disrespected by that government. I'm here. I'm not leaving. I'm going to be watching because it's my responsibility to hold a new government accountable to these Guyanese people. When I see that, and I see that Guyanese across the board, all 6 ethnic groups, can live comfortably in harmony, then I can refrain from doing this program. But until then, there is work to be done. Not just by Wayne Caesar, by all of us. Venezuela, yes, Francine Cruz, yes, Venezuela is getting aggressive. Venezuela is getting aggressive. All right? And the reason why Venezuela can be so aggressive with no deterrent is because over 23 years that the PPP was there, we failed to build a robust standing army in Guyana. We did not invest in our defense infrastructure. Okay, we did not. Our servicemen and women, they are grossly underpaid. So being a serviceman or a servicewoman in the Guyana Defense Force in Guyana, let me say this. It's not a very attractive job. And let me take away it's not an attractive job. What we need to do, we need to wheel and come again and make that job more attractive. And that's when you're going to get more young people, okay, that's going to volunteer and invest and say, hey, look, I want to join the Guyana Defense Force. I want to defend my country. Right? Also, keeping on the Guyana Defense Force, we don't have the servicemen and women does not have the necessary resources that is needed. Correct, Leonard Sampson. Military hardware. Okay, they don't have it. We don't have sophisticated weapons. We don't have nearly enough drones. All right. We need to have like drone outposts, where these outposts is just sending out drones, you know, scanning our borders. A stronger, more robust border patrol unit. Look, all we need is a good, strong, standing army that can hold off a country like Venezuela until we get reinforcements. whether it be from the United States, the UK, France, whichever country. But we don't even have that. And the reason for that is because we fail to invest in the Guyana Defense Force. Could this be part of the PPP marginalization? Because you know that if you invest in the Guyana Defense Force, part of it would have to be raise of pay for servicemen and women. And I'm sure 85 to 90% of those servicemen and women are Guyanese of African descent. Yeah, Guyanese of African descent. So, where does that leave us? Oh, Rita Clark, very good comment. Sheriff Security is going to fight at the border. Sheriff Security, they have their helicopters. We never seen their helicopters at the border. They would need certain permissions from the government. They'd never have got, as far as I know, Sheriff Security have never gotten any permissions from the government. But during the protests, right, with regard to the Adriana Young, during that protest, they were out there shooting. They didn't get any permissions whatsoever from the government, but they were out there shooting. If you ask me, Irfan Ali, Barra Jagdeo, and Nandalal, they should be leading the charge at the border. They are the ones that act like if the title of Guyana was left in the three of them names. They should be at the front. Venezuela is going to continue to be aggressive with us until we find a permanent way of deterring them. Okay? There have been talks, you know, of a U.S. base going into Essequibo and all this kind of stuff. Does that help? Big time. But what are you doing? If Guyana does that, you know, you'll be giving up something, a little bit of your sovereignty here and there. You know, you got to give up. You don't get anything for free. The U.S. is not going to give security to Guyana for free. Not with the current regime. Okay? Not with the current regime. Deborah Pearson, Amir Ahmad is the new commissioner of police, and Sheriff Security is the new arm of the police force. Deborah Pearson, you think I would sit here and doubt you? I would not doubt you. You have all right to make such a statement. I would not doubt you. Since the murder of Adriana Young, we have not seen a live press conference with Clifton Hickey. But he is the said commissioner of police. I have not seen a live interview with Rosenben. We have not seen these things. So, with Ms. Pearson making that statement, how can I argue with her? I cannot. Thank you, Ms. Robin P. Simon. I can't do it. I cannot argue with her. Seeing that I got Ms. Robin Simon here, a pleasant good evening to you. Look, we need fighters to stand up. All right. We need people, Guyanese citizens, you got to stand up continuously. Sheriff cooperation. Whenever our new government is in place, Sheriff Corporation must be investigated back and front. Okay? Back and front. I need to know the authenticity of that company. I need to know how that company was funded. They need to source their capital. I would also like to uplift a list of the investors so that they can be scrutinized. Look, the GRA, I believe, have enough on their plate. I think we need to have an independent agency in Guyana that vets new businesses and the investors in these new businesses. Since the country is so wide open for investment, right? We need to create some agencies to vet the investors. All right? Any little talk in walking into Guyana investing. Let's have some proper practices in place. Let's have some proper standards for a change. Let's do that. It's much needed for the Guyanese people. When these companies comes into Guyana, Guyanese are hired. You want to know that you're going and you're working for an authentic organization, that you're working for people who are clean, not just clean in Guyana, but clean on the world stage, because you're going to have many external investors coming in to invest. Because what we've been seeing, brothers and sisters, is a lot of nasty, filthy people. People with no integrity, people with no ethics, people with criminal records. And what some of us look to do, we look to lift up these people, some of them, and call them leaders. How can you call a criminal a leader? We're talking about cybercrime and Guyanese being persecuted. I want to ask a question. I want to pose out this question. The British High Commissioner, the Canadian ambassador, the US ambassador, the State Department, all the leaders, CARICOM, Maya Motley, Ralph Gonzalez, all of you guys. Haven't you guys taken a peep at that video with Barry Jagdionsu? Will you think you was watching cartoons? Nothing happened there? You guys didn't see anything happen there that was grossly illegal? I'm asking all of you because it looks like if people are blind in certain situations, but then their eyes are wide open for other situations. I just want to know if we were seeing or if we were blind. That's all I'm asking. Simple question. You see, I'm not going to come here and say anything without a basis. Right? I'm not going to say anything without a basis. Did you guys see the video, the Vice News video with Barry Jagdeo? In the corner of his home, making a corrupt deal with Sue. To the Guyana police force. The body that is put in place to handle issues of such. Clifton Hicken. Brutus was there at the time. All of you guys. You guys didn't see anything. The video was AI. Seeing that I'm on video. The pool at the hotel. Did you guys see the pool? Everybody, all the people I just called. Did you guys see a body in the pool? I'm forced to ask these questions because I'm not understanding. So I'm asking questions. Well, here, if nobody didn't see anything, right? Nobody saw nothing. All I'm going to tell you guys to do is leave the Guyanese people alone. Stop arresting them saying but they're inciting terrorism. When it's you guys, all you people are terrorizing them. Stop it. Stop. I'm asking you to stop. If Guyanese said no justice, no peace, what's the matter with that? They have experienced injustices for years, for decades. They have decided that enough is enough and they're going to stand up to it. Because it's gut-wrenching and it's hurtful to lose a beautiful 11-year-old child. Our child. And some stupid attorney. Some stupid lukewarm attorney. Some idiot attorney is going to come and say that compensation equals to justice. Where? Have he lost a child? Some nerve. Then vice president, VP, everybody just call him, comes on his program and tries to ignore what's happening. Talking about the PNC can't win an election. The PNC could more than win an election. Because I believe that the PPP should not be able to recover from what has occurred over the last few weeks. Hey, look, I spoke about the Henry cousins, the Henry boys. Don't forget the two young men who recently got executed by your state, PPP, your state. All you guys do is execute Guyanese of African descent. That's all you do. If somebody mad with me or if the bombs raised, then lay your bombs raised. But you come and show me a list of Guyanese of East Indian descent that was executed by the government. Show me a list. You probably have the Bacchus brothers. That was a while ago. That was their own people. Saturday Osal. The finance minister. The agriculture minister. So, where are we going? Where are we going? Brothers and sisters, I see like if we're experiencing some issues with the video. But once I'm audible, we can keep going. You guys let me know if I'm audible, if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Just let me know in the comments. I don't know what's happening with the video, but I have my video on my end. So it may be just something with the connection, okay? So you guys just bear with me. We're going to keep going. We're not going to be stopped, okay? We are not going to be stopped. Brothers and sisters, let's continue. Let's continue. Again, like I spoke about the like I would have just said, the execution of Guyanese of African descent. All right? The execution of Guyanese of African descent. We have to stand up. we have to stand up, because you know what? These executions cannot be by chance. It could never be by chance, but it has to be by design. It has to be by design. And you know something? We've had enough of it. We are not tolerating it anymore. Okay? We are just not tolerating it anymore. That's why this most recent murder of Adriana Young, and we're not waiting. We don't want to hear nothing about drowning. We don't want to hear anything about drowning. Okay? Because look, we saw an empty pool the night before and the morning. So right now, we don't want to hear nothing about drowning. We are talking about a homicide, which was rightfully said by the family attorney, Dr. Dexter Todd. I fully agree with him. Brothers and sisters, as we get down to closing time, I want to urge each and every one of you to keep your head up. We are fighting this. This time, not long time. All right? This time, not long time. We are demanding justice. And I am going to say it here for the PPPC and the ERC to hear. No justice equals no peace. No justice equals no peace. All right? ERC, I know you have some intelligent people there. But if you guys want to play dunces, you guys can play dunces too. Okay? You want to play you dunce? You don't understand what peace can be interpreted as? You can go right ahead. Forbes Meduse, talk about funding. Oh, quick. All right, Forbes, I'm going to pick this up quick. And I hope when Forbes is talking about funding, he is talking about what the EU, right? Or what the UK would have donated to the Guyana Elections Commission, saying to fix the electoral apparatus. Hey guys, don't you guys find this to be a big joke? Because just after the elections in 2020, we know that there was something grossly wrong with our electoral apparatus. Right? We know that there is something grossly wrong with our electoral apparatus. So if you're going to donate for us to fix our electoral apparatus, which, guys, honestly speaking, I don't feel like if these people need to be giving us money to fix our electoral apparatus, I feel like if we bring in enough revenue in this country to fix all these things, we have had about $3 trillion budget. And you're telling me that we still have not put in place proper electoral reform in Guyana? And PPP supporters are coming out and saying that the PPP needs to remain right there? You guys got to really be kidding me. I want to see where the opposition would be doing this. And I have the guts to come out and say that they need to remain right there. You see, that's the difference. That's the difference with the PPP supporter compared to the supporter for the opposition. Look, man, I don't care who you support. This is about making Guyana better. This is about making Guyana better for all 6 ethnic groups. This is about bringing about equity for all 6 ethnic groups. This is about bringing about security, food security, physical security, safety for all 6 ethnic groups. Now you have 6 ethnic groups, and when you look across the board, you got one ethnic group the African Guyanese just getting executed, pick out, execute by the government. And everybody from the outside just looking in and acting like if it's fine and all is good and cozy. I got a problem with that. Number one, it is wrong. Number two, the people that are being executed, they look like me. That's my first two issues. The first one is that it's wrong. And the second one is that they look like me. And I got a problem. Look, brothers and sisters, we got to stand up strong for each other. The PPPC cannot continue to dictate terms. They cannot continue to be the runaway train that they are. We are demanding free and fair elections at the upcoming election. Okay? The UK now wants to donate and wants to help to fix our apparatus. I asked the question though. You guys are now donating in the 24th hour. What are you guys trying to tell Guyanese? Is that we must delay this election, okay, while they lull down the death of our young daughter, Adriana Young, and they lull down the death of our two brothers in Linden who were executed by the state. They lull that down. And they lull down everything else that they would have done to Guyanese, where they feel that they've gotten to a point where they create an even playing field that gives them an opportunity to compete in the election. Then the election will be called. Well, I'm going to tell you this. There's a program called Over to You. And I and this audience here, we will continue to remind each other. And we are going to continue to remind the voters on the ground in Guyana of the atrocities of this PPPC government. It is not going away. We will never forget. You guys for 1 minute think that we're going to forget about Adriana Young? That could never come out of my... I was live when that body was discovered. That could never come out of my head. Never. Brothers and sisters, we got to fight. Okay? We got to fight. We got to fight continually. Yes, Deborah Pearson. The PPP is a wicked, stink, dirty regime. I agree with you. I agree with you. Stink and dirty. Guy, you know, Francine Cruz, you know what? That is exactly what it's going to lead to. But man, it's going to be done peacefully. Nobody infrastructure is not going to be damaged. But here, when brothers and sisters decide to lock hands and block roads and do these kind of things, y'all don't knock them down. Y'all don't knock them down. You see, you guys, the PPP, you guys, y'all have some real dictatorial traits where y'all want to bully people, y'all want to run y'all vehicles over them, y'all want to do these type of things. But I hope that those human rights organizations, they are peeping in. I hope that they're peeping in. You see, the PPP wants to do things to the Guyanese people, and when the people respond, the ERC and the PPP and everybody want to turn around and look at the international community and call foul. They want to call foul when the people then respond. They want to call foul. But when they're persecuting the people, the international community, everybody's looking in and nobody's uttering a helping voice towards the people. Nobody is saying anything. But when the people respond and respond aggressively, or their thugs, their scrapes, well, what do you guys think the government of Guyana is? You guys think that these are clean-cut people? Irfan Ali has 19 fraud charges. Could anybody explain and tell me about that? And I spoke earlier about Barjagdio and the Vice News video. And everybody know that Anil Nandalal is a big dunce and unfit to be Attorney General in Guyana. Anil Nandalal is the worst Attorney General Guyana has ever had. And he will be the worst in the history of the country. He is just flat out a flat-foot loser. That's what he is. He does nothing in the best interest of Guyanese. He doesn't work for the Guyanese people. He's an independent AG that works for the PPP and works along with external investors. That's what Anil Nandalal is. I hope the opposition is listening in. Because that's what we need. We need a new government that is working for the Guyanese people. We need a government that is working in the best interest of the Guyanese people and in the best interest of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. One of the first things that we are going to task the new government with, one of the very first thing, is taking one Guyana out of our passports. And everybody who have a passport stamped with one Guyana is to turn it in to have it replaced with a proper, authentic passport from Guyana that has our national motto. The PPP has to be kidding me. And the opposition also has to be kidding me to allow those people to put one Guyana in our passport. You MPs, when you guys are traveling out of Guyana, you guys have to open your passport. It don't hurt your eyes to see one Guyana in there. I probably would have burned my passport. I'm sorry. I know it's a national document. But that's wrong. What the PPP is doing is wrong. They are forcing their regime on Guyanese. They are forcing Guyanese to accept them. The external international community is also aiding and abetting in forcing Guyanese to accept the PPP. Why would you accept a government that their police force can't even be accountable to you? A police force that the normal working, everyday Guyanese is working and paying taxes to uphold the police force, to serve and keep them safe and secure. That same police force is failing them and disenfranchising the people of Guyana. We're preparing to close, brothers and sisters. We're preparing to close. Whatever happens at GCOM, I hope that they get it right so that we can have free and fair elections in Guyana. Because it's a certainty that the PPP will be voted out of power. It's a certainty. Okay? It's just a matter of when is the election. And I'll tell you this. I am of the belief that a lot of PPP supporters are going to aid the opposition in voting the PPP out. And you know something? I welcome them to a coalition government where everyone is going to have a seat at the table. And no leader in that coalition is not going to unilaterally make any decision. It's going to be made as a group. I better not see that we have a coalition in place where no one leader is trying to dominate the scene. We all have to come to the table. We all have to make decisions pertaining to Guyana. No one is going to act unilaterally by going out and making deals, without informing the broader group. All right? We got to warn against these things. Because we know that Guyana has had a history where all politicians do is to get into power to get themselves wealthy and to get themselves power. We know the game today is about money and power. Well, I'm going to say this now to the new government, the new incoming government. We ain't playing that game of money and power. We playing the game of handling the interests of the Guyanese people and Guyana from a holistic perspective. That's the game that we're playing. And I'm going to be right here to make sure that the game is played properly. Whether they listen or not, I'm going to call them out as loud as ever. And I expect you guys to do the same. Don't let anybody, any government again settle into mediocrity in Guyana. Do not allow it, brothers and sisters. Do not allow any government, it doesn't matter which government it is. You guys hold them to standards. You guys have them be accountable from day one. My brothers and sisters, I love all of you so much. I want to really thank you guys for taking the time, to join the program today. I always appreciate you guys. I always appreciate your comments. I read your comments. So anything that you guys want to say to me, feel free to drop it in the comments because I read all of them. Okay? I really, really want to thank all of you for joining tonight. Continue to hold your heads up. All right? Let's keep the pressure on. Let's keep the pressure on. You guys keep posting. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Keep linking people to your post, when it comes to injustices that is happening across Guyana. Okay? Keep doing your work. You guys are doing a fantastic job. All right? Continue. Love all you guys. Until next weekend, I say over to you and good night.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public face. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair in this.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Sujurong?
Sue. Oh, Sue.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
How we gonna do a body man walk right now? You ready? Fuck, so let me go now. Hear me sing now. Body walk, body walk, body walk, everything. Body walk, truck, body walk, body walk, body walk, everything. Body. Listen, body jump, body jump.